Hey guys, Stephanie here, and joining me is my fluffy little brother Rodney. I wanted to say that the last two videos I've uploaded were a bit on the sad side. I will definitely be the first to admit that. So today I wanted to share with you guys some actual good news from my life. So a week from the day that this video is airing, I am actually going to be on a plane out to England. And as if that wasn't exciting enough, I am going to be staying in England for 2 whole months. That's just insane. I've never been on a trip that long before. I've never been away from home for that long. And I am both terrified and excited. And I'm really looking forward to getting to share that with you guys. So I first went to England last fall for my birthday. And I just completely head over heels fell in love with the UK. I was only about there for 2 weeks, but as soon as I got home, I was super anxious to get back over there. When I was last in England, I was staying with a good friend of mine in Cambridge. They had school and work throughout my trip for most of the time, and so that ended up with me having to go to different places by myself. That includes London, that includes Brighton, Bath, and then the one trip that we did manage to do together was a weekend trip to Cardiff, Wales, which was amazing. So my favorite city that I visited when I was in the UK for the first time was Brighton, with Bath being a close second. Brighton is this picturesque English city that you would see in a zillion different tour books. If a tour book didn't have Brighton, that tour book would be wrong. You basically walk out of this train station and then you see a beach and the ocean at the bottom of this hill that you're on, and then you walk down the street and there are a bunch of pubs and restaurants and knick-knack stores and museums. And about halfway down this hill, I want to say, there was this clock tower that wasn't super imposing or anything. But when I was there, it was a bright and sunny day, and it was all decked out in streamers, and there were a bunch of people in the square, and so it was just very warm and inviting, and I had arguably my best vacation day in Brighton that day. On the other hand, I actually didn't like London all that much. There was sort of this sense of familiarity of being in another metropolitan city, since I'm from the Bay Area and I'm used to San Francisco. And so in that way, I felt that I had sort of been transplanted from one metropolitan city into another, and those skills carried over, particularly with navigating their public transit system. But I also felt that London, at least where I was in zone 1 and zone 2, it was sort of cold and a little distant, and I could tell that if I were going to stay in London, that it would be sort of hard for me to get my foot in the door and make new friends. So given the impressions from my last trip to England, I wanted to see if I could maybe book a room in Brighton. Not that London would have been a bad city for me to stay in, but that combination of that sort of negative impression that I got, along with the crazy high rental market out there right now, I wasn't really comfortable blowing my budget just on accommodations. And so staying just outside of Brighton actually ended up being my answer. So while I am over in England, I still fully intend to make YouTube videos. I, however, will not be bringing my PC, which you can't see because it's out of frame right now, but it is a giant tower with good specs and blah blah. However, my boss did say, hey, why don't you take your MacBook Pro work laptop with you, so that way you have something that you can edit with. And I was like, cool beans, dude. So I'm going to be bringing that. The other downside to using a MacBook instead of a PC is it's going to limit the kind of games that I can stream. And if you haven't seen me stream games before, you can check it out on this other channel that I stream for, and I also have a playlist on my main page. So that is the good news for me for this week. I hope it's been a pleasant change compared to the last 2 sad videos that I've done. And like I said, I'm extremely excited to be going back to the UK. If you've been to the UK before, I want to hear the cities that you liked, maybe the cities that you didn't like. If you live in the UK, drop that in the comments too. I have 2 months of time that I need to fill up, so let me know. Anyway guys, that is all for now. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next one.